Today I have a food-related segment on these Japanese kid snacks called hora de kita. Hora de kita are DIY kids candies. They can make different types of candies with different flavors. Hora de kita roughly translates to look, I did it, or hey, I did it. So I thought it'd be fun to show you what these are like, how to make them, what they taste like. This is actually my first time making these, so I guess this is also a first impressions video. My husband grew up in Japan and he said he loved making these when he was a kid. In general, I was just very curious about them and wanted to taste them to see if they were good. Let's see how each DIY or candy flavor stacks up against the other. Let's get on to the first one. I'm going to start with the very familiar fruity flavor. This one is the DIY apple flavored chewing candy. There are different characters on each package. This has a bear with an apple on its head, and on the back you'll see that there are instructions. I'll do a close-up on both sides. Let's get into making the DIY candy. You can almost make an ASMR video on opening each of these and just talk in silence, but I want to walk you guys through the process. The toothpick just popped out. Okay, so instructions say pour out the sprinkles and the liquid into their specific trays. Liquid kind of looks like cough medicine. Did you guys ever have that cherry flavored cough medicine, at least in the US? Oh, actually it's more like a jelly or a liquefied Jolly Rancher. I really like the sensory experience of pushing the jelly out. I can see how this would be really fun for kids. The sprinkles. I have to be careful with this. Ooh, the sprinkles are super colorful. They remind me of dipping dots from McDonald's. Now it says, first you want to dip the little balls, which I assume are apple flavored, first into the jelly and then into the sprinkles. I appreciate the handy dandy toothpick. Okay, so just the bottom. Woo, so sticky! Okay, and then into the sprinkle. Ooh, it picked up the sprinkles really well. So this is what it looks like. Let's give our concoction a taste. Ah, the jelly is trying to drip off. I should eat this. All part has a very strong apple flavor, but it's not too overpowering. Jelly does kind of taste like Jolly Ranchers, like I had suspected. Even though the jelly tasted a bit like Jolly Rancher, it wasn't too heavy or syrupy. Entirety reminded me actually of a little mini candy apple. Not a big hard candy fan. I would probably give this a 4 out of 5. I would actually eat a few more. I think the chewy flavor of the apple ball with the jelly and the crunchiness of the sprinkles just goes really well together. All right, number 2, another familiar fruit. This one is a DIY chocolate and banana chewing candy. So I feel like it's going to be pretty similar to the apple chewing candy because of the chewing factor, but this one has the added chocolate element. See how this compares against the chewing apple flavor. There's a banana all over the packaging. It's so cute. Ooh, and actually there's glittery stars all over the front. A+ for packaging. Okay, so this is what we have. I assume it's going to be pretty similar to the other one. Yep, we're going to be pouring out the dipping condiments. I had to actually grab scissors to open the chocolate packet. I don't know why it was so hard to open, but we can pour it in now. Chocolate reminds me of the chocolate Jello pudding that you could get in cups. you know what I'm talking about. Ugh, that got kind of messy. That doesn't look very appealing, but I'm sure it'll taste just fine. It got into my hands, so I'm gonna have to clean up. I'm back. Ugh, it took a while to wash off the chocolate. Chocolate actually clinged on, so it was kind of difficult to wash off. And then the sprinkles are pretty similar to the apple chewing candy DIY. That is the final plate. Let's dip one of our bananas in and see how this goes. So this one is not as easy. Oh, okay, it's clinging on, it's clinging on. Kind of have to mix it in there a bit. Okay. Oh, well, I guess I should have just done the tip of the banana according to the instructions. Whoops. All right, taste test time. I think I would give this a 3.5 out of 5. I actually prefer the apple chewing candy over this, which I'm a little surprised, but I think what's a little odd about this one was chewing bananas taste reminded me of a runt. Brain got a little confused thinking, what am I doing dipping a runt flavored candy into chocolate? It was a little different. In candy for the apple flavor paired really well with the jelly and the sprinkle more so than this. Now we're moving on to the more uniquely Japanese flavors. Third DIY candy I have is this chocolate dip and kinako rice dip flavor. It's going to be more of a DIY mochi flavor, which I'm really excited about. I love mochi. And kinako is soybean flour. It essentially tastes like a nutty powder. So choco kinako mochi, let's see how you do. And this one has a rabbit character in the front. Oh, that's so funny. There's a Japanese legend of a rabbit pounding mochi on the moon. So I'm assuming that's why there's a rabbit on the front of this, referring to that Japanese legend. I didn't expect the mochi to be more like rice pellets, but I guess they do look like rice pellets in the image. Pour out the kinako first. Kinako and chocolate go really well together because almost kind of like a Reese's peanut butter cup. That chocolate and that peanut butter, oh, so good. Chocolate packets are the hardest thing to open, so just a heads up to you if you get any of the ones with chocolate. You might need scissors to open this up, or you might need a stronger person than me to just rip the package open. I don't have a stick? Question mark? Oh, I was like, wait, where's my stick? There's actually a spoon at the bottom of this. Oh, I was like, why can't I grab the mochi? It looks like I'm actually supposed to pour water over it first. Okay, so yes, you're supposed to make the mochi soft before you try to eat it, haha. But now it's more of a mochi consistency. Now let's give this a shot. It's a little hard to grab the chocolate. Okay. And then the mochi. Alright, here's the concoction. It's not the prettiest thing. I was having a hard time grabbing the chocolate, so I went to the kinako, dipped it in, and went back to the chocolate to get some more. The mochi is very gelatinous, as it should be. This is a 3.5 out of 5. I wanted to give it a 4, but I feel like you should just get regular mochi and heat it up yourself. Because this is for kids, the mochi doesn't have a very distinct ricey flavor. It tastes a lot more like flour, not necessarily rice. But I love kinako, that's why the score is really high, and chocolate and kinako go together very well. Lastly is one that I love the colors and very intrigued by. It is this DIY ice bar chewing candy. Mascots for this one is the polar bear and the penguin, so I'm assuming this one is kind of like an ice pop or a popsicle type of flavor. So this one's really good for summer. Love the design, there are popsicles all over it. See how this one stacks up against the rest. The handle is an actual mini lollipop handle, so I'm going to have to see if I can even stick it through the part underneath the candy. The clear jelly says mizu ame, which translates to water candy. There are 4 sticks, so you can share this snack with friends. The powder is white as snow. Mizu ame. Ooh, I love this clear liquid. It reminds me of the raindrop cake with how clear it is. Open one of these up. I feel bad now not sharing this with anyone. I'm gonna have to keep this for later. Let's do the pink one. Okay, stab. You know, it's actually went in pretty well. I was thinking that it might not stab very well. Or maybe I just did. Oh, actually. Let's stab it on the other. It says we're gonna do the liquid first. Trying to get a fair amount of liquid, it's not that easy. Okay, and then we're gonna do the powder after that. Alright, let's see how this popsicle snow candy tastes. Ah, it's dripping! The consistency is like Starburst, but chewier. Similar to a berry Starburst. I think I'm gonna give this a 4 out of 5. The taste is pretty good. It's not too sweet. Reminds me of a version of shaved ice or kakigori in Japanese that's not gonna melt. Still has kind of that refreshing sweetness. And I really like the mizu ame. That's it. I created and tried all of the DIY candy kits. And I would actually say my favorite in terms of flavor is the apple chewing gum. In terms of being able to share and just the sheer beautiful magicalness of it, I would say the DIY ice bar takes the cake for me in that department. It was fun for me to snack and talk to you guys. Just share more about Japanese culture through food. I want to share more about other cultures through food, especially ones that I'm very familiar with or my culture. For example, I want to do probably a segment on Filipino food, and also I'll do more food diaries and more food related activities. Let me know what you want to see. I am all ears. Subscribe if you haven't yet. We do food style and travel around here, and I would love for you to stick around. Have a good one. See you next time. Bye.